Welcome.
I'm from the 218.
218-651. Everyone is welcome at 612 Saturdays.
I'm from the 313. How about me?
That's Detroit.
Yeah.
Sure. Enjoy the weekend wind-up with 612 Saturdays presented by Carbliss. $6 drinks, $1 snacks, and $2 food. When we're together, the Twins rise as one. Join in at twins.com/tickets.
I'm Derek Sidian with KBRFradio.com News. Join me live every Friday on KBRFradio.com or the Fergus Now app for the weekly news recap, where I recap this week's hottest local news and you catch up on what you might have missed. The live stream starts at 12:30 and will be available to watch after the stream ends. The KBRFradio.com weekly news recap is brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonememorial.com, memorials that matter.
It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF, brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, here's Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop.
Good Monday morning. It is, 10 after 9. It's a beautiful day, Mary. It's a golfing day, I feel.
I think you should get out on the course. Oh, my goodness. What a beautiful and what a great weekend, huh?
Oh, it was gorgeous.
Oh, my goodness. Hope everyone got out to enjoy a little bit of that. We even sat on the end of the dock most of the day yesterday, and we're out there till, 8 or so. It was just absolutely just too nice to go inside.
Yeah, I was hoping to get out to the lake and open her up this weekend. Just did not have time. Just too many things to get done, and it just didn't happen. So hoping to do that here eventually.
Well, you've got a lot of time. I keep, we were saying, oh gosh, we should have gotten the pontoon out yesterday. We got to get, and I'm like, it is the 4th of May. Yeah. Let's not panic here. And that is so not like me to say, because you know how I love to be on the boat. It's the first thing I want. But I know there's a lot of other things going on, and it takes some doing. It takes a couple of people to go get it, back it in, one to drop it off, one to drive in, or to drive it over to the lake. And so it
takes a little organization.
It's a process, yeah. And, then you have to make sure the battery and everything is good to go before you get it on the water. And so there's some things that it is actually ready to drop in the water. We do know that. So, but again, it is the 4th of May. It seems like it's later because we've had nice weather.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny? You have about 3-4 days of nice weather, and all of a sudden you feel like it's summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got like a skirt and a short sleeve top on today. No jacket. Didn't even wear a jacket here this morning.
I didn't wear a jacket either. I mean, it's a nice day.
Yeah. What is it?
65.
Oh, right. 65. Well, no wonder. So good for whatever you want to do, whether it's play around a golf or, just go out for a walk, sit on the deck, sit on the dock, whatever you like to do outside. It's going to be a beautiful day for that. I did see that, I don't think we are in it, but there's fire warning just off to the west of us, like maybe Fargo and west, and then north too, but most of it off to the west of us. But still, I think we have to be careful with burning.
Yep.
And this is the time of year that people like to get out and do that kind of stuff, but probably need even a little more rain before anyone does that kind of stuff.
Well, we went to our friend's lake cabin, kind of over by Garfield in that general area, and there was some people burning next to 94. So yeah.
Well, we had an incident in our family where they were just doing some burning of some CRP like they do every year, and it was very calm, and they waited for the right weather. And just somehow an unexpected gust of wind came up, and it turned into a fire where they had to call the authorities. And a couple of people got some fairly serious burns. So now we look at all of that very differently now. So I would just caution people, if you don't, just wait till we get a little more rain.
We had that happen when I was a little kid. Somebody was burning leaves in the out at the cabin in that area, and so we all had to grab our hoses and
Oh boy.
start firefighting because
And I'll tell you, it is. I don't think unless you see it happen, I don't think you realize how quickly it goes. It's like setting a dried out Christmas tree on fire. You know how that just goes like that? That's kind of how it goes in this kind of weather. So while I don't think we're in a burning ban, but anyway, just be cautious, I guess, is the whole deal.
Yeah, we don't have a red flag. I don't know about burning ban. I'd have to look up the details.
Okay, but we are not in that red flag warning, at least. But anyway, just, I guess, be cautious.
There you go, winds on the south at 9.
I grew up with a fireman, so we always had to watch for that kind of stuff. And my dad was over the top careful with regard to fire. So, I kind of grew up like that. Well, a weekend, hopefully everyone got out to enjoy. And of course, more news for you over the weekend. I don't know if anyone caught this. I saw a portion of it while I was getting ready for church yesterday morning, but President Trump was on with Kristen Welker on Meet the Press yesterday. And I don't know if you saw it, I don't know how you felt. I kind of felt like he made her look foolish a couple of times.
Well, that's kind of easy.
It is easy. And she was talking about things like, prices going up. And the things that she mentioned were toys and strollers. She mentioned strollers a number of times. And finally, President Trump said, really, strollers? That's what you're worried about is strollers? I'm talking about gas prices. I'm talking about fuel. I'm talking about, the things that people are really worried about. Not everybody worried about a stroller, and so made her kind of look ridiculous. And then he went on to say, and you've probably seen this in print, he said, maybe these little girls don't need 30 dolls. Maybe they need 2 or 3 instead. What he was getting at is just, being spoiled, rotten. Do we need to have all that stuff? And right away she jumped on it and she said, do you mean there's going to be a shortage of dolls? And I'm like, really? A shortage? Nope, he's not talking about a shortage. He's talking about, do we as Americans really need so much? Or can we go without all this junk that comes from China?
Mm-hmm.
So, but even the Chinese are taking a look at having some talks and doing some negotiations. So while it seems like the last standout is starting to kind of, maybe we ought to, I don't know where that's going to go, but it kind of looks like it's going that way. Anyway, that interview yesterday, I think he stayed on point for Donald Trump.
The bar is kind of set low when it comes to him staying on point.
Right, exactly. And he said certain things over and over as he does. He blamed he said all good things in the economy are the Trump economy, and all the bad things are because of the Biden economy. So,
You can't have it both ways.
You do inherit some bad stuff, and I think he did. I also, there was a story in the news on Fox News. There was a columnist who was writing about the fact that he's been kind of globetrotting and going around and asking Republicans, typically, what they think of what President Trump has done so far. And he said, what you're hearing on national news is not what I'm finding. Most of the people that he is talking to are saying, listen, he told us some of these tariffs could cause a little bit of short-term hurt. But we are ready to withstand that short-term hurt because we see what's going to happen on the other side of this. So he was pretty positive about what people were saying, but it was Republicans for sure.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting. So, okay, how about this one? He floated this out there over the weekend. Would like to reopen Alcatraz.
Oh.
Currently, it's a museum and it's a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
But he said, hey, we got a lot of bad people and we might need to reopen Alcatraz. So that was what he floated.
It'd probably be cheaper to build a brand new one than trying to upgrade Alcatraz because Alcatraz was closed because it was a hazardous place,
right,
and you
right.
couldn't.
Yeah, I don't know that that's going to happen, but it's another one of those things that he floated. Something else that showed up over the weekend, and no idea where this came from, and I'm just hoping that it wasn't posted by this administration, but there was a picture in a Pope uniform.
Oh, that was actually posted by Trump.
Do you think it really was?
It was on his account.
Ugh. If you didn't see it, it's basically a picture of the Pope or a Pope's, uniform.
Donald Trump as Pope.
With Donald Trump as Pope. I guess that's really, that is an absolute, that's sacrilege.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know, they just have to get a rope around this guy.
They've got to take his phone away.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Anyway, he gets past his first 100 days, and I think there have been some things that we have seen that we've thought, I don't know, but how long is this going to hurt? And I really do think we're going to see things turn around financially. I think the hurt isn't going to last forever. So I don't know. I'm trying to be trusting, what they're saying will come out on the other end. Anyway, it just feels like he's floating a lot of ideas out there that don't make any sense right now when there's so many things to be done. Like Alcatraz, do we really have to worry about remodeling Alcatraz at this point? Let's keep doing the job that you're doing.
Yeah.
And let's not add to it. And
And you got to realize Alcatraz is also in San Francisco, and we know what their prosecutors are like. So
right.
They're not going to fill it anyway.
No, probably not. Anheuser-Busch, they are turning away from every woke thing that they were a part of. They said, wow,
we learned.
That hurt us bad. We're not doing that. We're gonna turn away from every woke thing with moving, with every woke move that they did. They're going to turn away from all of those things, and they say Americans will appreciate it. And I think they will. Let's see, what's his name? Sean Diddy.
Oh, the Diddy Combs.
Yep, he's going, they're doing jury selection today, and I forget how many hundreds of people they're starting with, and they're going to try to knock it down to about 45. But he faces jury challenges in New York. I think it's really going to be hard to find a jury there, but his sex trafficking trial is about to begin, and they're choosing the jury for that. Speaking of kind of in that same vein, but a little closer to home, this Ray Holmberg deal out of North Dakota.
Oh, that's just creepy.
He was convicted, and he has been sentenced. I think he's like 81 or 82 years old. He's older, and he will likely live out his days in prison. But now we're seeing it's kind of like the Jeffrey Epstein thing, although we're starting to hear actual names of people. One is on the foundation of UND. There's a couple of attorneys that have traveled with him that are pictured with him. Some of them say, I didn't travel with him, although I was in Germany for a wedding and I met up with him. We came separately. I don't know.
For those who don't know, he traveled abroad to
Prague.
Yeah, to have sex with underage kids.
Yeah. And just a scumbag. But anyway, it kind of feels like now there are about 3-4 names that have been
names.
Yep, and these names have come out, and some have said, "Hey, not me. I didn't do it. Whatever." But there are some whoever owns Hotel Donaldson and one other. It's a restaurant in Fargo. He has bailed out of his ownership even of those 2 restaurants, because he has been named as a potential. So I think we're going to hear a lot more names coming out now, whether or not they're all accurate. Social media is the place where they're all popping up. And, so you have a picture taken with this guy in Fargo at a restaurant one time, and you are immediately, taken a look at. But anyway, it's kind of one of those situations, sort of like the Jeffrey Epstein thing. I think we're going to see some some people fall in that.
Yeah, I thought we were supposed to start seeing names and flight manifestos from there.
Yeah, are we ever going to see that?
I
really honestly don't think so.
I think we will.
Do you think we will?
I think we will.
John said the same thing to me yesterday. I'm like, no, I don't think we're ever going to see those names.
I don't think we're ever going to find out who killed him because I don't think it was suicide.
No, I don't think it was either. But you think we'll find out names of people who went to his islands and names are in books and emails, and you think so? And there's going to be a lot of names we know, right?
Trumpy said he was going to release the info. And I mean, he released JFK. He released, I think he's already released the RFK stuff. So, I mean, we got... Maybe. Epstein Isle.
All right. Well, billionaire investor Warren Buffett announced his retirement and recommended Greg Abel as his successor at Berkshire Hathaway. The decision was revealed at the annual meeting in Omaha. Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway's largest shareholder, emphasized faith in the American economy amid market uncertainty caused by tariffs. So even Warren Buffett says, settle down, everyone. President Trump expressed uncertainty in an interview about immigrants' constitutional right to due process. This is that Kristen Welker interview.
Yep.
So he was asked, do they deserve due process if they are here illegally? Well, my answer would be no. They are not American citizens.
You got to give some process, but I mean,
but you know
maybe not the full due process, but you've got to,
I read, let's say that each one of those hearings took 2 weeks. They said it would take over 300 years for all these people to get due process.
Okay, never mind.
So what do you think? 300 years? That's a long time.
As long as they wait outside the country for their process.
I guess. Yeah, so, and I thought it was interesting, too. Early in that interview yesterday, President Trump said, wait a minute, this is already a very unfair interview. And he called her on it right away. Oh, boy, might be worth going back to watch. I only saw the first part, but anyway, lots more for you as we begin another week, and a beautiful week at that. We'll have more for you when we return on Morning Talk.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
I'm Derek Sidian with KBRFradio.com News. Join me live every Friday on KBRFradio.com or the Fergus Now app for the weekly news recap, where I recap this week's hottest local news and you catch up on what you might have missed. The live stream starts at 12:30 and will be available to watch after the stream ends. The KBRFradio.com weekly news recap is brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonememorial.com, memorials that matter.
There's lots of gear to help you fish, but make sure you pack your guides in your tackle box. Listen to Todd and Phil from PT's Guide Service during Gone Fishing, presented by Frontier Marine and Power Sports. Gone Fishing helps you land more fish by letting you know the techniques that are working on area lakes. Listen in as PT's Guide Service shares a boatload of experience. Gone Fishing can be heard right here every Friday afternoon at 5:25, presented by Frontier Marine and Power Sports. Listen in this Friday and let people know you've gone fishing.
Anglers, get ready to cast your lines. J&K Marine proudly presents the 20th annual Real Country Classic Fishing Tournament, May 16th and 17th on beautiful Ottertail Lake. With over $25,000 in cash and prizes, this is the fishing event of the year. The grand prize includes $5,000 each day for first place, plus exciting contests for the biggest northern and biggest walleye. There's more. 24th place walks away with a Garmin Live Scope, valued at $1,700. With prizes at all levels, there are plenty of chances to win. Register now online, lakesarearadio.net, or simply text FISH to 847-2001. The 20th annual Real Country Classic, May 16th and 17th on Ottertail Lake. Brought to you in part by
CI Sports, Rush Marks, Cars Tree Service, Beach Bums, and Lakes Country Roofing. The 20th annual Real Country Classic, May 16th and 17th on Ottertail Lake.
Protect your livelihood with a livestock risk protection policy through Egg Country Farm Credit Services. With an LRP policy, you're covered if the market price unexpectedly drops for fed cattle, feeder cattle, or swine. Coverage options range from 70 to 100%. Get an LRP policy from a team that knows agriculture. Contact your local Ag Country office to learn more. Ag Country, focused on ag.
Dolan and Associates analyst Matt Hines says pretty much all weather driving this market right now.
Grains under pressure overnight, kind of rolling here this morning, adding a little bit more to the wheat side, even though Minneapolis was still, it was in the green in the overnight and the open, and it's even in the red here to start the day. You know, I think the biggest thing, at least for this week, is going to be U.S. weather. Looks pretty wide open for corn and bean planting, at least in the Corn Belt. We've got a few days here in the Southern Plains, and then looks like we got some rain chances again midweek.
Livestock side of things, we are seeing a grain market or a livestock market that is chasing the cash trade.
So we opened actually steady, but quickly added dollar-plus gains for both live cattle and feeders after the open. Of course, much higher cash trade again last week, and new all-time spot high for April live cattle before it expired, up above 217. May feeders, new contract, and all-time spot high on Friday at 295.62.
Cash cattle trade quiet here this morning as well. Typical Monday going on. Both buyers and sellers taking inventory, and bids and asking prices not yet established. Cutouts expected to be mixed with light box movement. Last week we traded cattle mostly 214 live, or 214 to 218. That's $5 to $6 higher than the previous week. You're listening to the Red River Farm Network. This is the Soil Fertility Minute, brought to you by the Agriculture, Fertilizer Research and Education Council. University of Minnesota Extension soil scientist Dr. Daniel Kaiser is with us. Dan, should we be using starter fertilizer on soybeans?
Well, it's one of the things that I'll get some questions here and there on, particularly with fertilizer prices are high, or growers looking at, supplementing a little bit of phosphorus to soybeans and looking for some options to save on costs. And I've looked at it. I've had a study the last couple of years, and it's pretty significant, particularly the seed placement, where we start seeing a lot of emergence issues. So the big thing on starter on beans is we need to be aware of is their soybeans are far more sensitive to the seed placement than corn is. We know the broadcast options are probably the better thing to consider, and really there's just too much risk involved, particularly even with some of these lower salt sources.
AFRAC is a farmer-led program advancing soil fertility research. Find out more at mnsoilfertility.com.
I'm Mark Oppold with an American Agriculture History Minute, brought to you by Helena. Meet your new ally in the battle against weeds. It's Cohort from Helena. Visit helenaagra.com to learn more. In 1906, Elias Ammons was president of the Colorado Cattle and Horse Growers Association, later served as governor of Colorado. George Ballantyne was general manager of the Denver Union Stockyard Company, and Fred Johnson was publisher of the Record Stockman. These three men in 1906 put together what would become the world's largest stock show, the National Western Stock Show in Denver. Originally limited to livestock from the western U.S., the show expanded in 1908 to include entrants from around the world. A horse show was added in 1908. I'm Mark Oppold.
July wheat Minneapolis down 2.5 cents now, 608.5. Chicago July wheat down 7 1/4. Kansas City down 8 3/4. July corn's down 8 1/4, 460 3/4. December down 5 at 445 1/4. July soybeans down 5, 1053. November down 3 3/4, 1026 1/4. In Winnipeg, July canola 560 a metric ton higher, 713.60 Canadian. June live cattle up $1.85, 212.97. October is up $1.02. August feeder cattle $1.02 higher at $297.92. October up $1.35. June lean hogs 7 cents higher, 99.42. August hogs down 22 cents. This is the Red River Farm Network.
Markets this hour brought to you by Ag Country Farm Credit Services, a customer-owned cooperative.
Protect your livelihood with a livestock risk protection policy through Egg Country Farm Credit Services. With an LRP policy, you're covered if the market price unexpectedly drops for fed cattle, feeder cattle, or swine. Coverage options range from 70 to 100%. Get an LRP policy from a team that knows agriculture. Contact your local Egg Country office to learn more. Egg Country. Focused on ag, focused on you. Egg Country is an equal opportunity lender and provider.
CPAs that are certified to win. Smith and Sam. Smith and Sam Limited.
When you're on a trip and you're not sure how to navigate towards your destination, chances are you use a GPS. And when it comes to accounting, think of Smith & Sem as your GPS for bookkeeping. Smith & Sem will always guide you through the best path for your business needs. Smith & Sem, your numbers team, Fergus Falls.
I'm Jessica at the Fergus Falls Monument Company. I'm the first person you see when you come through the door, and I also talk to customers every day on the phone. Many of them find choosing a memorial ahead of time is convenient and works best when there is time to plan and think about it. Planning ahead not only gets you the everlasting memorial of your choice, it also helps your family through the grieving process. At Fergus Falls Monument, we can help you plan ahead and choose a memorial made right here locally. Call or stop in or visit us online at foreverstonememorials.com.
Age is more than just a number, it's a journey worth celebrating. Join News Talk 1250 KBRF for Celebrate Aging, presented by Pioneer Care on Wednesday, July 9th at the Bigwood Event Center in Fergus Falls. Discover resources, enjoy live entertainment, and connect with experts on healthy, happy aging. Whether you're attending or showcasing your services, this event is for you. Want to reserve a booth? Visit LaytonEvents.com today. Let's embrace the beauty of growing older together. See you on July 9th at the Bigwood Event Center.
Community is important, and you'll find it at Pioneer Point. Spacious apartments, thoughtfully designed for older adults, provide the best in senior living. Heated parking and elevator access makes life easy. Your neighbors at Pioneer Point hold a welcoming, family-like approach to living. Choosing from an array of special features and options, you'll find many ways to define your lifestyle at Pioneer Point. Call or schedule your tour online today at pioneercare.org.
Grown-ups, aren't Sundays more fun without... Can I have screen time? Can I have a snack? I don't want to go to Grandma's. It smells funny. And I'm bored. Bored is impossible on Kids Day at Target Field. The gate 30 for lawn is turned into Bullseye's backyard. Kids' meals are half off. Kids 12 and under can run the bases after the game. And Grandma's invited too. Enjoy your weekend wind-up with Sunday Kids Days, presented by Target. Join in at twins.com/tickets.
Fergus Home and Hardware. If you have a home, we can help.
Feeding your pets shouldn't be complicated, and with Nutrisource, it's more rewarding than ever. This is Sherry. At Fergus Home and Hardware, we carry locally produced Nutrisource pet food, and when you buy 12 bags of the same size, you'll get the 13th free. This is our way of helping you save while giving your pets the nutrition they deserve. Stop in today and ask about the rewards program. We'll help you get started.
Fergus Home and Hardware. If you have a home, we can help.
News Talk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the Fergus Now app on your phone. As we have 9:38, it's time for one of my favorite segments of the week. It's two Marys and a Dave.
All right. Did we say good morning to Mary at the American Legion? Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How's it going today?
Good. Happy Monday and happy beautiful week, it looks like. And yeah, just want to back up a day for your Belgian waffle feed. How did that go yesterday?
It was great.
Oh,
had
good.
Lots of people, lots of fun, lots of work, but it was a good day and nice to see a nice crowd.
Okay, well,
They're
that's
really, really good.
really good stuff, huh? That's great. I'm happy to hear that. Well, okay, so now we move ahead and we are into May. And so you have some new dessert features I happen to see, and maybe you can tell us about those.
Sure. Our dessert features for the month of May are a lemon meringue pie, a lemon blueberry layer cake, and a turtle ice cream dessert. So it's got caramel ice cream and pecans and chocolate and more caramel and just good stuff.
Wow, that
so like
sounds
a turtle
great.
cheesecake, but better. It's turtle ice cream dessert.
Okay, they all sound great to me. I think you start with dessert so you don't get too full. You got so many great
Absolutely,
choices.
you should start with dessert.
Absolutely. Well, and then we'd like to talk about the Wednesday special too, to help plan our week of meals.
For sure. And so since it's going to be so nice this week, we're going to do a salad, or a sandwich rather, a chicken salad sandwich with some watermelon and some chips and a treat.
Oh, that sounds great. Sounds very summery, and it is going to be summery this week. So chicken salad sandwich sounds great to me. So looking forward to your Wednesday special. And of course, Mary, there's so many other things that people can take advantage of. We always talk about desserts on the Wednesday special, but there's so many things on your menu and, something for everybody in the family.
There is a big assortment of things, lots of different burgers, sandwiches. We have grilled chicken, we have chicken strips, we have walleye, different Philly steak and Swiss sandwich, grilled ham and cheese, appetizers, different salads. So yeah, there's lots to pick from our menu. So I think something for everyone.
Yeah, and a lot of great appetizers too. If you just feel like an appetizer, like the loaded tots or the chicken drummies, so many good things on that menu too. There's really something for everybody. So
absolutely,
yeah, and I know that's what you guys try to do, and you do such a great job at that. And Mary, open Wednesday through Saturday.
Correct. Wednesday through Saturday, we have dine-in from 3 until 8 each day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And the carryout starts at 11 on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and goes till 8, and then 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock on Saturday.
Okay. All right. We look forward to every Wednesday through Saturday, that's for sure. Mary, what's the number to call if we'd like to get on the list for that Wednesday special?
Give us a call at 739-4633.
Okay. Enjoy this week. Have a good one.
You as well. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mary from the American Legion, our guest on the show. Glad to hear. Did you have some Belgian waffles?
Yeah, I was at the Belgian waffle feed.
Okay. I had to sing in church yesterday, so I missed it.
Oh, so yeah, we all went out there, and it was absolutely fantastic.
Oh, good. And a great crowd, too, huh?
Great crowd.
Oh, good.
The way Mary did up the sausage was so good. I had to ask her before we went on. I'm like, oh, did you get them something special? And she goes, no, we just really cooked them with the brown sugar, and it just made them pop.
Yum.
They were so good.
So many good cooking tips out there,
Yes.
huh? All right. Well, so often in the news, there's stories about lottery winners and what happens to them after they become a winner. Well, here's a guy from Kentucky. His name is James. He had quite a week. He won $167.3 million.
Nice.
That's quite a week. And he was arrested one day later.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
So he cashed his Powerball ticket on Monday, and on Tuesday he was charged with battery of a police officer. Not a good idea. Arrest documents accuse him of kicking an officer in the face during a dispute with a third party. Nonetheless, he is looking forward to sharing his winnings with his mother. I've caused a lot of stress on her, I've made some bad decisions in my life. He said it's going to be a good Mother's Day, he said to his mom, and this is going to pay off my debt to her. So maybe he just needs to put the money in Mom's name so he doesn't lose it all while he's sitting in the clink.
At least, I don't think he's sitting in the clink with 100-something odd million. I'm pretty sure you can post bail.
I suppose he can. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. If you get in trouble like that, is there any restrictions to your winnings when it's a state-funded thing?
No.
Okay.
And plus, he already cashed it in.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He already had the money.
All right. Well, anyway, hopefully his mom is having some fun with that. Hard to say if he gave it all up. I mean, how much do you owe your mom for being a rotten kid? All right. And here's another knucklehead. Many of us admire firefighters. Of course we do. But this man reportedly wanted to see them in action.
No.
This happened in the UK. He was accused of setting his own house on fire just so he could see these public servants at work. Well, this sounds like a guy that...
Was alcohol a factor in this one?
Possibly. Let's read on. However, 90 minutes after that, the fire was extinguished. Brown called in another fire. Officials began to suspect the flames were started intentionally. Background check revealed that Brown had called the fire department 80 times in 1 year. Maybe at time number 5, they start taking a look at this guy. Anyway, he eventually pleaded guilty to arson. You waste the resources of the fire brigade, which could be used for more important matters where lives are in danger, and he got the book thrown at him, as you might imagine. 2 hikers in the Czech Republic came across 589 gold coins.
Nice.
They were minted between 1808 and the early 1900s. Turned out they're worth about $341,000.
Hopefully they don't kick a police officer in the face.
I hope so, too. The pair came across the treasure while stomping around in the mountains on a hike early in February. In addition to the gold coins, they also found 16 tobacco bags, 10 bracelets, a comb, and a keychain, or a chain rather, with a key. Of the Museum of East Bohemia believes the loot was buried in uncertain times with the intention of returning later for it. So they uncovered all this stuff, and so what started as a hike turned into a dig that I don't know if they end up with the dough or probably not.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they do.
Do you think?
Yeah, they found it.
I suppose. I suppose they could sell it to the museum or something.
Yeah.
There is now a woman. She's a British woman, and she is now the oldest living person at age 115.
Wow.
Wow is right. The British woman was born in 1909. She's the last British person alive to have lived under the reign of King Edward VII. She's married, had 2 children, and has outlived both of her daughters even.
Oh,
that's sad. But I guess when you're 115...
Yeah, that's going to happen.
She now has 3 granddaughters and 5 great-grandchildren. You'd think at that age...
A lot more.
Yeah, you'd kind of think so, but she only had 2 children, too. So I guess that's part of it. How about this one? Okay, this is a dilemma. If you are working with someone closely, that's, your colleague every day, and they have this really persistent bad breath.
Oh.
Do you tell them or don't you?
It depends on how closely you're working next to them.
Wow.
But yeah, if it was totally nasty, I'd be like, dude, gotta brush your teeth.
It says that about 62% of the people that were polled said that they themselves have been told by a coworker that their breath is less than fresh.
I drink so much coffee, so I always have coffee.
Coffee, I probably do too.
Yeah.
But you can't, even when you've got the worst breath in the world, you can't feel it or smell it or...
No.
You can't.
Because it's, going through your nose and your nose gets used to it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, they say that if bad breath is persistent, it might indicate some kind of condition like gum disease, or they might have tonsil issues. So they're saying that maybe there is a medical issue that you ought to,
Medical issue for the halitosis.
I guess. Anyway, they say that few people said, only 12% said, yeah, they would tell their coworker that they have bad breath. I mean, I kind of want to know. If I've got bad breath, I want someone to tell me.
If I get to pop a piece of gum.
Yeah. And I don't know, I guess I chew a lot of gum for that reason too, just because, like you, I drink a lot of coffee, and coffee breath isn't always the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is, a lot of times if people have like stomach issues, upset stomach, that kind of comes out in your breath too. Yeah. But you don't know it. I think I'd rather be told. The embarrassment would last for a short time, but
I'd be like, hey, thanks for the heads up. I mean, I like everybody I work with.
It's just like if you have, something in your teeth, you got spinach left in your teeth. I'd like somebody to tell me. But if I see somebody, like I'm talking to somebody at work and they've got like a big hunk of pepper in their tooth or something, I'm reluctant to tell them.
I'd say, dude, check them here.
Hey, yeah, you got something in your tooth there, buddy. I don't know. That's hard. That's a hard one. Okay. I love this. Okay, are you a procrastinator?
I am the grandmaster of all procrastinators.
Okay.
All procrastinators bow to me.
There is a TikToker and a self-proclaimed procrastinator. This person, Christy, had put off painting a dresser. She put it off for 2 years. She said, I got to paint it. I got to paint it. She never did. Anyway, in an effort to get motivated, she decided to film herself to see how long it would actually take to get the job done. Surprisingly, the video blew up on TikTok, and Christy now documents how long certain tasks take to help others who struggle with procrastination. Maybe you ought to watch this.
No, I might, but I could probably do it tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll do it tomorrow. It's called the How Long Does It Take series. It's really that's sort of interesting. It includes videos on making a dentist appointment, cleaning out junk drawers. Oh my goodness, junk drawers. Are they the worst? They could be cleaned out once a week at my house.
Jen went all kind of Martha Stewart on our junk drawer and got little dividers and organized it.
Yeah, I have those too, but it's still... it still ends up being the catch-all.
I mean, it's still the catch-all, but at least it's organized.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, it also, so cleaning out junk drawers, organizing a pantry. If you're lucky enough to have a pantry, that can get kind of dicey too. And the other one for me is the fridge.
Oh, yeah.
The fridge, I think it's impossible to keep the fridge neat and clean. And I hate to clean the fridge. I hate it. Anyway, so there's actually a series that you can watch that they say will help you stop procrastinating. Anyway, one person...
But a true procrastinator is not going to watch it. They're going to watch it the next day.
I guess. You're right. Oh,
so if you're a procrastinator and you watch that, I mean, come on, people. You're not a true procrastinator.
You're not a true procrastinator. Yeah, for sure. Boy, I can sure procrastinate some things, though. Making appointments like that. Oh, I really got to go to the dentist, but ugh, who wants to do that? I'll do that tomorrow. Oh yeah. It's probably lunchtime. They're probably all out at lunch. I'll do it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm famous for that kind of stuff. And then once you do it, it's like a phone call, and it's taken care of, and you can cross it off your list. But oh boy, it's sure easy to put that stuff off. Okay, today is Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
Got a couple of trivia questions for you.
And just a reminder for everybody, Cinco de Mayo is not Mexican Independence Day. Everybody goes, oh, it's a Mexican Independence Day. It's like, no, it's celebrating the Battle of Pueblo.
Okay. Okay. So sort of one of my trivia questions for you.
Oh.
Cinco de Mayo is a celebration of the Mexican defeat of which nation?
They joined the long list of countries that beat France.
Exactly. Okay, how about this one? Believe it or not, I knew this one. I guess this one's not very hard. How many U.S. states border Mexico?
Ooh, I'd have to think about that one. You got California.
Yep.
You got, I'm trying to think if Nevada does. But you got Arizona, New Mexico, Texas.
Yeah, you got them.
Okay, just
That's
those
all.
four. Yeah,
not Nevada.
I was trying to think how far that little wedge
that little
tip goes down.
Yeah, nope. It is. You nailed them all. California,
Arizona, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico,
and Texas. Yep, those are the four. So anyway, I say this is your green light to go and make some fresh guac today. There's nothing, I mean, I was going to say there's nothing I enjoy as much. Probably is. But anyway, guacamole. Oh, fresh.
I love the guac.
Fresh guac, I absolutely love.
I thought about you over the weekend.
Okay. Did it have to do with cilantro?
No.
Okay.
We were over at our friend's house, Nick and Becky, at their lake cabin, and Becky made these little chicken sandwiches that had pesto. And I know how much you love making fresh
pesto. Yeah.
You love making fresh pesto.
I
and
do.
I'm like, Barry would appreciate this.
Yes,
sandwich.
I absolutely would.
And it was really good. So
yeah, and you know what? Fresh pesto is good in so many ways. You can use it. Sometimes I use it instead of a pizza sauce. I use that instead. I use it on sandwiches. I use it as a dip. I use it on pasta as a sauce.
Yep.
It's really, really, it's useful for so many things. And I make a bunch of it in the fall, over the summer and into the fall. And I grow a ton of basil during the summer. That's basically my one thing that I can grow. And then I freeze it in like 1 cup, about a cup or so, cup and a half maybe, in little plastic bags, and it fits easily in the freezer. And when you take it out and thaw it thaws quickly, and it tastes like the day you made it. It's really, really good. So, okay, so here's to guac. I say, everybody get out to enjoy some guac today. I think I'm going to do that. Do you ever buy that? I buy those little individual packs of guacamole so that, the whole thing doesn't go bad on me. And it's just enough for a few chips. And I like the spicy kind.
Ooh.
Spicy guac. Oh, so good. I'm going to have some of that today in observance.
In observance of the defeat.
Cinco de Mayo. Yeah. Defeat of France. Okay.
At the Battle of Pueblo.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap things up on a Monday. Get out and enjoy this beautiful day. And thanks for joining us. Our show today and every day is brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Falls Monument Company. Have a great day.